welcome to the Howard team. My name is Brian Howard, and I'd like to introduce the team today. Got into real estate probably about 2001, and was really drawn to real estate probably as a love of love of the environment. And when I say environment, I'm talking about love of people, love of places, love of community. And so I actually got into the adventure tourism business with the idea and dream of introducing small groups of people to spectacular places. So that business could have started from anywhere, became an idea at university, but it ended up starting in the place I grew up, the east coast of Canada. And I ran that business for quite a few years, had great success with it, but then was drawn actually in the early 2000s, the Alberta advantage into Calgary. And so came to Calgary in my mid 30s and thought, what's next for me? And I thought, this bringing people into great places was kind of continued. So that's a little bit about how I got into real estate and my love of community, people, and creating great spaces for people continues. So meet some of the team. How about you, Connor? Do you want to tell us about how you got into real estate?
Absolutely, I do. So I started out as a real estate photographer for about 4 years, and my biggest client was Brian. So I worked with him for a long time doing all his photos, videos, measurements, drone, all that fun stuff, along with a few hundred other realtors. And as time went on, I decided that I wanted to step into that world myself and not just do the photos, but do the realtoring. I've always had a love for houses and neighborhoods and meeting all kinds of different people, which is something I always had to, or was always able to experience in photography, but I wanted more. So that's why I became a realtor, and I love it.
And we love you, Connor. Maria, how about yourself? Tell us about your real estate journey to date.
Absolutely, yeah. I've always had a great interest in housing and real estate itself. I love browsing online and just looking at lots of properties. After I had my son, I was like up every night so many times just looking at the real estate market, looking at every new listing. It's just been a great interest of mine all this time. And I'm also really passionate about helping people find what's right for them. I came from the automotive industry and did car sales for a while, and I loved helping people find what fits them and what works for them and actually suits them in their lifestyle.
Nice, great. Robin, how did you discover real estate and what brought you to this great profession?
Well, I'm Robin Howard. I'm Brian's daughter. So I watched my dad in this industry for most of my life and thrive. And I thought no better than to learn from the best. And then I thought buying a house is one of the biggest decisions people will make in their life. And it's an honor to help people make that decision and choose the right home for them.
Well, we're so pleased to have you. And the great Cole, tell us a little bit about your journey in real estate.
Yeah, so I got into real estate almost 4 years ago now. And prior to that, I did a number of different jobs. I started door knocking during my university degree. I got a kinesiology degree that I don't use now, but here in real estate. And always had a knack for, meeting people and just building relationships. And I've always been very personable and outgoing, sporty, and just really bringing people together. And like you mentioned, Robin, it's the biggest asset for people, right? So much goes into a home, so many experiences are created there, memories, and everyone needs a roof over their head. And in the words of Brian, right? Bringing people to great places and spaces, and helping them build and grow and envision their lives in them. There's so much that's tied in there, right? So wanting to be a part of that and meeting people and just having those conversations and helping that be as much of a smooth transition as we can, has been, a large portion of to why I got into real estate and why I continue to enjoy what I do.
Well, that's really great. Thanks all this is the Howard team. And now, just wondering, Maria, let's talk a little bit about our relationship and how you came to the Howard team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually know Brian through my dad. Brian and my dad were cycling teammates and also competitors at times, yeah.
Your dad was a frenemy. We call frenemy.
Frenemies, yes.
Not just friend, not an enemy, but both. We used to race against each other.
Yeah, so I met Brian quite a while ago, I guess, when I was in my early teen years still and living with my parents. And then when we sold our house I came around to see Brian again, and we ended up listing our house with him, and he did a fantastic job for us, and we kept in touch and ended up buying our house through him as well, and we just kind of kept growing that relationship, and I could think of no better to do real estate with than Brian. So happy to be on the team, Brian. Thanks for bringing me on.
Happy to have you too, Maria. You're going to be awesome, and you are awesome. Cole, let's hear about you and the journey to.
Yeah. So ultimately, I kind of made the decision I wanted to get into real estate, and your son there, Brian, Jacob, and me and Jacob went to school together, charter school way back, and I knew Jacob was in real estate at the time and living out in BC, and I gave Jacob a call, and he introduced me to Brian, and remember Brian from volunteering way back when I was a little kid in school, and we got to talking and came into real estate naturally that way after interviewing with a couple different brokerages, and just found the right fit here with the Howard team.
Well, thanks all. Thanks for watching. Now you know. Reach out. We'd love to help you.